She's on a new level. We're doing this entire magazine. I said what I said. Oh, hi, friend. I'm gonna teach you how I go through the process of harvesting. What are the things that I try to keep in mind when I'm harvesting? We're gonna use like 98% of the magazine. That is a lot of magazine to be using. And you're going to be able to make a ton of stuff. So if you're in the mood to make and you've got some magazines, grab them, stack them up next to you, start harvesting with me, or take some notes, grab some tea, and listen to me ramble. We have mailing envelopes, right? We've got coin envelopes, love, adore, treat bags. These are great for sending things to your pen pals or even as pockets for pages in your junk journal. They're great for gift giving. Like, how is this not better than a bag that you would buy on Amazon? And it's just like such a fun way to give something to someone. Oh, I love it. This masterboard is actually how I made this journal. You can obviously make yourself some postcards. I made so many postcards. A lot of these are images harvested from magazines and then backed onto with index cards, which you already know that I love. If there's one thing I'm gonna do, it's a journaling card. And if it's two things I'm gonna do, it's a Polaroid. Love the Polaroids maybe the most. It's hard to choose because I really love a journaling card, but these Polaroids covers for journals, come on, stop it. Collage on laminate, like self-laminating sheets. I feel like I've showed these in a video prior, but it bears repeating. Library card pockets, anyone? Why would we want a plain library card when we can make our own? And affirmation cards. So making like your own affirmation deck. By the way, friend, I wanted to give you all of the details. So I just want to quickly do an overview of my harvesting hacks just before we start actually harvesting. Number one is to, whenever and wherever possible, pick magazines that you enjoy. For me, I find that if it's a magazine that I enjoy, I am more likely to be attracted to certain images, and I'm more likely to be inspired by those images with projects that I would like to use them for. Keep in mind your categories when you're going through your magazines. And here is a list of categories that, that I think about when I am harvesting. Carve out time to enjoy the process of creating your stash. This is not a quick project. Sit down with your snacks on the side, reclaiming my time. Turn on whatever music you like to listen to, binge a podcast, Netflix and chill, whatever it is that you need to do. This is a process that you want to enjoy. You want to like deep dive. Yeah. Look twice, cut once. So you're gonna need to look at the front and the back. Keep the negative space scraps, mark and label. Try to imagine what they could be. Keep your fodder well organized. When I am initially starting to harvest, I use these, are these manila folders or file folders? I don't know. But, you know, I get these at Dollar Tree. You can, I don't know, I think they come like 5 in a pack. And I just use a Post-it because I'm selectively cheap. And yes, I did say they're from Dollar Tree, but when I say selectively cheap, I go hard. So I use Post-its so that I can just, you know, reuse them over and over again. My categories will change. And as I am harvesting, I will be putting them into the folders. And then once everything is cut and harvested, fussy cut, all the things, then I put them in their permanent storage. So use folders, envelopes, or bins to store. Whatever it is that works for you, I will show you how I store mine. So these are some of the project ideas that you can keep in mind also while you're harvesting. All right, so I've done that, we're done. Let's get into it. Whatever magazine that you have will work just fine. It does not have to be a fashion magazine. It does not have to be current. reach out to your friends and your family, your neighborhood free box, your library. There are plenty of places where you can find images. We're going to go through a magazine together, and I will point out how I would use each page, image, or what have you. The cover for me is an immediate yes. That's always going to be a great mailing envelope because these are thicker, that they'll survive the process of being tossed around. And all you would have to do is like put a label somewhere so that you can write on it. This is like a perfect paper doll because we have a full body. I love the colors. Like if you're someone who likes to do mixed media and collage with colors and patterns, then you might consider using bits of the patterns that you see here. Something that I think is really helpful, and I would recommend that you do, is to create a frame for yourself. I create two. Because I love making Polaroids, I create a Polaroid frame and I create a postcard frame. So this is cut to the size of a standard postcard. And what I do is I use this frame to look at areas and be like, okay, that could be like a nice nature postcard with like a caption, or I can take another image of a person and like add it and then like create like a story behind this forest. Like it doesn't just have to be what you see here, you can build on it. But this frame helps me look at things in different angles and see, where is it inspiring me, right? So I could use the same thing for like that. You can do something that's like artistic and hold it sideways. So for example, I brought this out because I think Lisa's face, of course, makes a great Polaroid. It's not really hard because she's stunning. Either of them could be a Polaroid. I'm gonna keep this Lisa intact and I'm going to take these down. I already know that this is an envelope because covers, that's just default for me. Covers are an envelope. She would be a beautiful Polaroid. I think Lisa is gonna be a focal point for me. So I'll write focal. This one I love for a paper doll, I really do. So I'm gonna put the flag here and then just write doll. Another part of look twice, cut once is to consider the surroundings of the thing that you're cutting out. Because this also makes an interesting Polaroid. So one page can give you more than one thing to work with. I think these floors make an interesting background for you to build on with another image or a caption, or maybe you even want to write some journaling on it. You get to have so much fun with this project. If you're into it, you're gonna love it. So I already know that she's gonna be a doll. So I would take my Polaroid and I would look around and see where I find the image that I think could be interesting. It's pretty tricky because I love black and white and it's hard for me to discern where I want to cut it, but I think I would maybe do it here. And then I take my pen and I use this as a template and be really careful about it. I created this template, I think, from a cereal box. You know me, I love to use my cereal boxes to make all sorts of things. So now I've identified that this is going to be a Polaroid image. Whatever the surviving space is around, that's all the negative space that, as I mentioned, we're also going to collect that. So when I'm done harvesting and I'm ready to go back into these pages and start cutting, that negative space, the surrounding space, is gonna have a pile of its own. So we've done our work here, we're good. Yeah, I love the way she's all flowy. She would be a great paper doll. So I'm gonna put PD. And these steps would make a great background if I can get enough of it. Sometimes you gotta, turn it all different directions. Yeah, I can probably get a decent Polaroid from those steps, maybe. I would obviously focus on getting her out safely first and then doing that. But even like these steps, because all of the different color values here. It's like different shades of gray and black that are here. They all add interest and dimension to anything that you want to add to it to build. So I'm just gonna do paper doll for her for now because I'm unsure about how much I'll have left, but yeah. If you buy fashion magazines frequently, then you will begin to notice that a lot of the marketing and the advertisements are repetitive from one fashion magazine to another. For me, that can work to my benefit because then I get to imagine projects as a series. Like I could do a series of pensive people and then have pensive like captions associated with them. Some things will be repetitive and you might be able to use them in a different way. I've already used her as a paper doll. Maybe next time I want her to be a coin envelope or something like that. I have seen all of these ads from them. I don't know that I cut this guy out, but I do remember that I always thought that his like somewhat bored, but also don't mess with me face was interesting. And I really thought that his face here was interesting. I'm pretty sure I cut that one out and I may have cut her out. And let's see if I can do both. I can definitely do both. I'm not interested in these. So this will be an envelope, something like that. I don't need to label it because I already know that for me, that's what it's gonna be. Do me a favor, friend. Like I don't typically do this and I think I need to get better at it because I'm also one of those people that watches so much YouTube content and I enjoy a lot of it. And even being someone who puts out her own like work and ideas and shares, I too forget to hit the like button. I too forget to subscribe. Just kidding. I never forget to subscribe. If I watch like two or more videos of someone that I enjoy, I immediately subscribe. Of course, I reserve the right to change my mind later because people's content changes and it might not resonate indefinitely. But if 2 or more videos entertain me or I find informative or helpful or inspiring, I will subscribe. So if you're enjoying this video so far and if you're still here, love you, mean it. Please hit the like, consider subscribing, or maybe use my method and go see if there are 2 more videos of mine that you can enjoy. So again, I made the mistake of marking without looking, but I didn't cut. So that would not stop me from being able to use her if I wanted to. I've already used her before. As I said, a lot of these ads tend to be repetitive across magazines. So since I've already used her, maybe after I cut Yara and my guy, I can see what's left over. And if some of this sky is left over, then this would be beautiful city life. This would be a beautiful background to add to. So yeah, things to consider and to think about. I'm glad that this happened. It probably would be a good idea for me to use some sort of pencil board before I start mark making. That way I don't end up with that situation where I'm making marks on pages that I did not intend to make marks on. So I'm gonna grab one of my pencil boards. You live and learn. I'm almost certain that I have her as a Polaroid already, so that gives me the opportunity to look at the different spots in the background and consider them. Like I really love those beautiful colors there. Some of the greenery, and I like this. Is this when we use words like juxtaposition? I like the contrast of like colors and like sky and concrete and greenery. Like I think those are all, you know, different points of interest. She is already a Polaroid in my collection, but you can find other parts that can give you backgrounds and things for you to build a different story from. So if for some reason this was an image that I didn't like, I do look at their poses or their hands, and sometimes it's those parts that I find more interesting. So That's why, again, it's really helpful to have this. Is you just move it around and see what you catch in the frame. I'm gonna make them Polaroids. I can't. She's too pretty. So here, for example, here's a shoe. I love a boot. I'm not exactly sure like how I intend to back up this fascination that I have with shoes, like in practice, but I'm excited about it. I have a funny feeling that it's just going to be like shoes and captions. I love a caption. I like to make my own, and so maybe they will inspire a new page of captions to make. Fans of Lucky Smith? Does anybody even care? Looking around, I have those girls, I have that guy, I have that guy, I have everybody. And I'm looking around to see if there are any details that I would be interested in, and apart from just cutting grass, I got nothing. So we already did those. So that would mean that these would end up being envelopes. Oh, but hold on. I do not have this awesome picture of a very dramatic Zoe Saldana. So we may have to give my girl a little Polaroid action. These are the best. They're still running these ads, and I've got quite a number of them. Carey Mulligan and Prada, they really had some fun here. So obviously that's going to be Polaroids. And we're just gonna remember, look twice, cut once. So we're looking at the back side, and these two make great paper dolls. So that is what we're gonna end up doing. Using my pencil board. If you don't have any page flags, again, I said they were helpful, not necessary. You could just like write over here. You can write, paper, or you can write PD right there. You just write it away from where you're going to be cutting. But I've got it, so I'm writing it. This is a great focal image. Also a great Polaroid. Look at that pose. Ooh, okay, Joey King. I have not seen the Joey King from Miu Miu. And here's an example of interesting shoes. You cannot tell me that there is no story here. You know what I mean? This one is too. She was in a movie with Selena Gomez back in the day. But this kid's been acting for a minute. But I specifically love her. So adorable. And the movies are so fun. What's it called? The Kissing Booth. Look twice, cut once. Hey, just because I'm advising you to do things doesn't mean that I don't make the same mistakes. Those are things that are gonna happen. We're just people. This is interesting. Something's going on in that picture. These are all gonna be Polaroids. Oh, I love the bunny. So I probably, because the bunny's in the back and I like it, I probably would choose these two girls. Nope. Where's the bunny? He's on this side. Yeah, I would choose these two girls so that I can have the bunny. Like, how ridiculous is this? What's going on here? Why though? But I love it. I love this. I am more drawn to the hand holding than I am to their expressions. I look at any pages that have like borders like this, where you can capture like 3 colors to add interest to a collage. So I look at that too. Love the shoes with the ruffle socks. Stop playing with me. That would be a really fun pocket to make. So I'm just gonna write pocket. She's a great paper doll. My bunny, there's another bunny. Yeah, we're gonna take that bunny rabbit. So this is a Polaroid. I like to consider captions. So I love that this says a timeless icon. But I look at a lot of words and captions. With love is wonderful. But looking behind it, this is a gorgeous background image that you can build upon. Okay, moving along. Where's my postcard one? I feel like I haven't measured for postcards. I love all of these colors that could make a really beautiful postcard, especially because of these frogs. And, you know, potentially if you catch it in just the right way, no one would be the wiser that it's a purse. And you get to have all of this fun stuff. Love her face. Ugh, look at her. She's perfect. Love her face. Love the way that she's posing her legs. Love the contrast of, look at the shoes. Come on, man. Like the red with the brown and the gray and the shoes. Oof. Look at this wood background that you can build on. There's a lot that you can grab from this page if you look for it. Look twice. Love these shoes. Love this floral background. So much interest there. But first I want to prioritize the gorgeous face. Darling, you're capturing us with that gaze. Ooh, look at that. That's awesome. Probably just going to take like background from here. Okay, I'm back from picking up the kids and I'm comfortable, so the rings are off. I love this guy in full armor. I otherwise don't, like, I'm not really drawn to anything. I love Naomi Campbell. She's fabulous. We all know it. But for some reason, I don't really like the grainy feeling of this picture. I do love the watch, and as I said, I am really interested in doing this time series. She's a great Polaroid. If it didn't say Marc Jacobs, I would be really interested in the shoes. I think that they're fun. But otherwise, she might just be an envelope. I'm not like a super fan of this campaign, so I probably won't use it for anything. I like to look at things like this. I like to notice artwork in the magazines as well. And sometimes I'll cut out the artwork and that could be either a journaling spot where I can back it with some cardstock and make it into a tuck spot or a pocket. Anything that you would do with any kind of ephemera. This position that she's in makes for a really great postcard, which I think I'd be interested in doing. I like the caption here that says, "Your story, our legacy." But you also could have it, you could cut it so that it can be your legacy, or just take your story, almost like candid shot of her. I would 100% use this. Oof. I love that. I also like the would you. I've cut this image numerous times. Not sure how I'm going to use it yet. I haven't used it. And I'm tempted to just make a series out of it because I think I have like 3 or 4 of them and just kind of make her be in different places every time. And I think here we can do the world at your fingertips. So that is something to keep. So we're keeping both of those. For some reason, I love this like big ass shoe. So I probably would cut out this shoe and just have it in my accessories folder. You can, you know, there's plenty of colors and textures that you can play with as well. Where will it take you is a good caption. She has a gorgeous face, and you can kind of play around with how you might be interested in using it. But more importantly, this could be a great journaling spot. There's plenty of space there. I love like the confidence in her pose. I'm not sure that I can necessarily make use of it, but I love to see it. That's fun. Be in the moment is a good one to use. Love Rocks is a great thing to have, just as a like focal point slash caption. Leticia Costa, I used to love her in the 90s. She still looks beautiful, but I'm not drawn to that picture. I'm drawn to the colors here and the different textures, but that's about it. So these would make great pockets. This is fun and dramatic. Yeah, I'm not really drawn to it, but you know, you might think otherwise. I am drawn to this. Look at these colors, how they work. Yeah, so I probably, yeah, I would want to get as much of this as possible. She could be a great paper doll. I would probably do that. I don't have nearly enough paper dolls. But again, I would want to get as much of this black and white as possible, because that black and whites are my favorite things to have on hand, because they're great for creating backgrounds in collage. This is a great picture. And we can just do eyes if we wanted to. Like, that's kind of amazing. I will come back to that. We just know that we want her. You know, another opportunity for journaling. Like the mouth could make a great journaling card. This is a fantastic journaling card. Beautiful. And you know, depending on how you cut it, you could potentially get more than one, or you can get a journaling card and a Polaroid. I don't know, but this is awesome. This is awesome. This could possibly be an interesting focal point in an unexpected location. Stand out, never still. That's a great caption to have. This is a great focal point potentially to have. I'm not going to use it, but that could be really interesting. At some point I forgot to be tearing this stuff, so excellent journaling spot. Great paper doll, and I think I will do that. We'll see. Challenge. This would be a doll. I have taken several, a grandma. Grandma, I love her. Look at her. She's like, honey, we don't have to do that much. No, you're fine. I mean, you're good. Do you, but Polaroid. I kind of love that. And I think I can have grandma and I can have her. We'll see how much I have after I take grandma, because I love her the most. Look at how beautiful, like her position, like her silhouette. Fabulous. Like when I want to make journaling cards, I have to be aware of where I make my markings so that I don't end up marking in like the field that would otherwise be a journaling spot. You know, I'm not super interested in anything here, but it would make a beautiful envelope if I weren't going to take her. I'm not drawn at all to guess marketing. I love this artwork. This alone would be a great postcard or journaling spot, or something that then you can take one of your people and add to it. I love that this says out of the jungle. That could be a great caption to use for something. So yeah, I will be taking that. These are fun, and how they're just like girls hanging out together. That's super fun. That's a fun ad. I love that. I will take that to make a journaling spot. I'll be using that. This is beautiful. Beauteous. Do you see how many images you can get? Like, is it making sense why I'm so obsessed with it? Like, And the thing is, when I look at these images through the lens of a journaling spot or a pocket or whatever, it simultaneously functions as a prompt for me. Like, you know, maybe I can imagine them, I know it's a daytime photo it seems like, but I can imagine them as stargazing, and I can use stargazing as a prompt and maybe reminisce about a time that I remember stargazing. Or, you know, it could be a prompt about friendship. It can be a prompt about slowing down, about being present, so many things. This caption that says, "Stay balanced" is a good time. I feel like I want to be interested, but I'm not. I'm more drawn to the hands, if nothing else, but I'm not drawn to it at all. Back to the ladies. I do love that. I do love that. Like, this could be a great journaling card to use as a prompt to journal about friendship. This reminds me of me and my two friends that I often have coffee with. So, you know, like, this could be a postcard for one of them or something like that. I absolutely will use that. And these are, you know, like, just random advertisements. This could make a beautiful pocket. I like that that says True Romance. It could be an envelope, if anything. This is a great pocket or something or other. That's a beautiful face. But I'm really getting really like full of Polaroids. These could be envelopes for me. This is a cool image to add your own caption to. So I will keep that. Not that, not that. So this would be an envelope. I like these smaller images. I would keep this one. It's cute how this, like this caption that says forest bathing, like it's tiny, but if we were to put it here, like that could be cute. When I see smaller images like this, I automatically think that I would back them on cardstock and then use them to make hidden paper clips. Don't really care for this ad campaign. None of this. I do like the colors here. They could be really useful for collage. I love her. I think I've cut her out, or maybe she was on a different sofa. I don't know. I will be taking her and the sofa painting. I love this background. I feel like there's so many spots of this background that I will use. Everything about this is an absolutely yes for me. Not interested. I love here, like this velvet. I would probably want to take some of that. I would want to take some of this. So I probably would harvest this for whatever I can grab out of it. Say less. I don't even wear heels, guys. It's just not a thing that I do. But how fun is that? Stop playing with me. Tell me right now that this is not a stunning journaling spot. We're doing it. Let's give it Marilyn. Come on, eyes. Oh man, that's a journaling card. I don't know how I'm gonna cut it. We'll see. Or probably, you know, I don't know that I would want to take everything. That would feel too literal for me. She's coming out of this magazine. I mean, it's the artistry of the angles, the makeup artist. It's play, it's fantasy. I don't take it too seriously. I don't look at this and go, I'll never look like her. No shit. She will probably never look like her. There are special effects at play here. They have chefs and meal planners and people, you know, making sure that they're doing all the things. You know what I'm saying? Yes, 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 yes. It's happening. And I would also take some of these colors and some of the pink and like this right here. You see that? You already know. You already know. Oh, Fussy cutting this whole thing out. Honey, slay. as the kids say. I will want to keep some of that, and I will want to see if I can preserve some of that. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. But ooh, you are killing it. Sheesh. Castaway, nope, interesting, but you're not calling me. Stunning, but again, not calling me, but it would be a stunning envelope. Stunning would be a stunning envelope. When I'm not drawn to any of it, chances are they're going to be envelopes. All right. So I'm just gonna tear the rest of this apart, and I'm going to then sort it out into the categories, and then we will start cutting. Hey friend, it's voiceover Shay here. I'm actually recording this voiceover laying down in an empty bathtub in my kid's bathroom because my son is playing VR in the living room and my daughter is playing Roblox in her room. Both of them are loud because they are their mother's children. I wanted to talk a bit more about fussy cutting. As I've said earlier, this is a labor of love and patience. And in order to have a successful harvesting session, you need time. And I know everyone is pressed for time these days, but just as it is true when it relates to exercise and eating healthy, we will find time for the things that are important to us. And if this is something that you're truly interested in doing, and it is time that's been holding you back, then schedule it. Look at, the long list of things that you have to do and see where there might be some space for you. This project is very good for your nervous system. And so therefore it's good for your health. So therefore obviously essential. Next, create an environment for yourself, like a working environment for yourself, however big or small. We've spoken about this before. Not everyone has a dedicated craft room, desk, or whatever. You could literally have all of your supplies nicely and neatly stored in a cardboard box, and you would still be able to accomplish this. So create an environment that says, I am in no rush. And in my mind, what that looks like is laying out your supplies, creating a snack plate for yourself so that you're grazing as you go. And this is all giving us the mental message. We're here to work and we're going to stay a while. Make some tea, play your favorite music, watch a new show, or even call somebody. I can't tell you how many times I call people or I'm talking to people and I'm fussy cutting in the background. I'm still paying attention to the conversation. I'm still very much engaged. It might slow down my cutting because cutting and talking, are tricky. And that's good too, because you have to practice being slow when you're fussy cutting. So that actually might work in your benefit. If you're having fun, you've set up a fun and peaceful environment for yourself, you have your music or your podcast or your show or your friend on the phone, you're going to see the time's going to fly. If the task still feels too big though, if you went so ham harvesting, I would recommend that you break it up into smaller bits. So maybe harvest, which is just like the pulling of everything, can be one part of the task. And then the next time you schedule time for yourself, your task might be to sort them. And then the next time you schedule time for yourself, you might finally start fussy cutting just one category. And then continue to schedule time for yourself to slowly fussy cut each category. Or maybe start fussy cutting the images that you think that you want to use in a project right now. that's also fine. The point is to just be more intentional about returning and about sitting down and doing all the things without rush. Another way to cut down the size of this project is to invite some friends over to help. They don't even need to be crafty friends. They just need to be people that like you. You can offer them a charcuterie board. You can do like a bring your own snack, bring your own drink. I think that would be so much fun, and you will get so much harvesting done with just a fraction of the work. To that end, you could pull everything from your harvest and then just have everything already pulled and categorized and ready for your friends to come help you chop it down. What? Love it. But anyway, not only will you chop through and create an immense harvest, but you'll have fun fostering community. So it's really a double win. Anyway, friend, I hope this video gave you some ideas that you can use in your own harvesting, not just of magazines, but any paper source of your interest. Old children's books, junk mail, advertisements. I encourage you to practice looking at things with a different lens. Notice the shapes, the texture, the expressions. Chances are that anything that is interesting to you will make an interesting feature in a project. Fight me on that one. And here on my top shelf is where I have my sorted magazine harvest images. My preference is to cut before they end up in here, which is why I created the manila folder system as kind of like a holding area. In the meantime, I've got everything categorized based on the categories that are of interest to me. Florals, really great because I'm more likely to use it if I'm not stressed out trying to find it.
And I even have one for my own drawings.
So with that, friend, I will leave you here. I thank you as always so much for being here. And if you haven't already subscribed, I hope that you will consider doing so. And I will see you next time, friend. Thanks for watching. Bye. Let me reel myself in. Hold on a second. Hello, city life. Reclaiming my time. She's on a new level. I gotta go pick up the kids. We're doing this entire magazine. I said what I said. Is it me or like, do we miss gladiator sandals? Once upon a time in the West. Do not care. For me. Ugh, Sabrina. Stop playing with me. Also, shout out to my new manicure. Arguably the best manicure I've ever given myself. She's harvested to the point of, do we have to be concerned about arthritis or carpal tunnel syndrome? So, give yourself a break. Sometimes I just pull and put them in the files and then fussy cut later. I go hard. So I hope that helps, friend.